Anticipation and excitement are just a few of the buzzwords for this 2016 Lord's soccer team, coming off an Elite Eight appearance a year ago. And joining us to talk about his team this season, as usual, and always very dapper, head coach Chris Brown. Coach, glad to be back with you for another hopefully exciting season out on the pitch for your lads. And quickly back at last year, 19-2-1, Elite Eight appearance. What did you take from last year and bring into this season's hopes, with obviously high expectations for this team?
Well, I mean, we had a good year last year, as you mentioned. Yeah. We fell short at a key hurdle. I think if you get in the Final Four, then obviously anything can happen. So, I think that's just the fine lines between success and not being as successful as you hope to be. That's the key thing, and trying to make sure we do the little things that allow us to move on further. We just got to make sure that we take care of business on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis, and then if you do that, good things can happen.
We've got a preseason rank of number 8, which I know you don't care too much about rankings, but obviously this squad, people know about this team the last few years. I mean, we've won 37 matches in the last 2 seasons. How do you kind of manage those expectations and keep the team going in the right direction with a target on their backs?
I think that, as you sort of mentioned earlier, the guys are used to it now. We talk about it explicitly in our first meeting. I think there's a small target on any athlete's back at Kenyon because the nature of the institution, its academic prowess, and the facilities we have means that there are a lot of other athletes that are envious of what we have here. In our case, and some of the other sports here, I mean, with the success, I think that target does get a little bit bigger. But I think players are used to it. They know that they're going to have to be up for every game. We keep them honest in practice, and hopefully that translates to game day.
Leading up to the preseason, you had mentioned to me how important depth was for this program, and in your mind, you think this might be the deepest team you've had here. Last year we had freshmen come in and do a pretty good job. We know about our frontline players, Sam Clower, Tony Amolo, Jordan Glassman. How important is it throughout the course of the season to have the depth that you think you possess on this roster this season?
Depth is very important. I mean, we cram a lot of games in a pretty short period of time, so making sure you've got bodies to rotate, you can give people rest, you can deal with injuries. So having that depth is critical. I think we are deeper. I mean, we've got a little ways to go to see how good the freshmen are and how much they can contribute. And I think it's going to be tough for them just because we are, a fairly experienced team. We have 6 seniors starting. So I think them getting, certainly starting time and time immediately off the bench is going to be a challenge.
Offensively, a lot of frontline players back. Tony, Jordan, Josh Lee, Dalton Udy. What are your expectations on the offensive end? Because I remember last year you said we're going to be able to score goals. That came to fruition. How do we maintain that high level of play, especially on the offensive end?
I mean, we've got to be prepared for how teams are going to set up against us. I think some teams are going to sit in, and so we have to be prepared to unlock defenses that are bunkered in. Conversely, I think we'll run in a few teams that try and press us early and make it hard for us to get into those advanced positions. Fortunately, we've got some pace up top, so that makes it. We're a hard team to press in that regard. So, but I mean, we've got some creativity with Dalton and Josh and Alberto. They have the ability to unlock things, and I think we've got some goals off the bench.
Sure.
Some of the younger guys are going to give us some goals too. So, it's going to be a team effort.
Defensively, we're going to see that entire back four, and of course, Sam in goal. You got Resnikov, Henry Myers, Brett Lowry, and Oliver Wynn. And last year, those guys were being molded together throughout the course of the season, and they did a fine job defensively. Expectations on that side, can they be better? Obviously, I mean, we're pretty good on defense, the last few years.
You can always be better.
Yeah.
You can be better at everything. I mean, a lot of it's going to be the team defending, and we've been working on that. We worked on it yesterday. The back four and the goalkeepers at some level are the beneficiaries of a good team defensive performance, and so that's what we're working on. If we can defend teams high up the field, make it hard for them to get into our half, even harder to get in the attacking third of the field, then you're going to concede few goals.
Okay.
Particularly with the pace that our back four has.
Yeah.
Across the board, you've got some of the quickest guys we have on
Right.
the team. You've got the two best athletes on the team in that back four. So if we defend well higher up, so our midfield and our attack, they're going to make it easier for that back four, but the back four have got some ability too. So.
Okay, Coach, my final thought for you, obviously, there's some expectations around here with a big senior class that wants to go out with a bang. In your eyes, when December hits, what's going to be a successful season in Coach Brown's eyes?
I think that's a hard one to answer. For me, you go into every game, and unlike some other sports where the variables are very controlled, soccer is much more contingent on a bunch of different factors. All you can do in every single game is put yourself in a position to win it. Mm-hmm. So if we go and we do that in every single game, and we play up to our ability, then we have the potential to go, deep. But we have to earn it, and so I mean, I don't know till we get to December.
Sure.
At that point, I'll be able to tell you whether I think we've been successful or not.